Grenell, our friend, Fox News contributor. Congratulations on that, and fellow at the Project to Restore America. Richard, great to talk to you again, sir.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Well, it's my pleasure. Okay, so, you know, to me, I see this as two separate issues. Whether or not Edward Snowden is right or wrong in what he says about this program, to me, is one part of the game. But you can't be determining for yourself when you swore an oath not to do this, and you have access to all this top secret information, classified information. You can't just take it upon yourself to reveal it to the world via the media and not expect to face the full consequences of the law.
Bingo. That's exactly where I am, Steve. I mean, here's the deal. The arguments for and against enhanced interrogations, intelligence gathering, all of those issues, those arguments have been around and are not unchanged. What has changed is the media's coverage of how Barack Obama has, I should say, candidate Barack Obama has changed his view, and I'm sure President Obama is not being able to recognize what candidate Obama said, and that's where I really have a problem. Is that, to me, it just seems like this guy, could have easily made these arguments in August or September last year before our presidential race. Before the president's reelect.
Well, by the way, let me interrupt. He said he could have, but he didn't, because even though he didn't vote for Obama, he voted for a third party. He believed in Obama.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing: is nothing has changed from right before the election till now. Nothing has changed, especially if this guy has a top secret security clearance, which we know he does. He certainly has been working on programs and signed up for spying programs. I don't understand what's different now from last September. Why now? Why is he suddenly so outraged that there is something new that he has to come forward and say, I can't be a part of this? So much so, Steve, that he goes to China to say, I don't want to be a part of the United States spying, so I'm going to go to China? I mean, this guy clearly is writing a book, and it's all about his ego.
And he defended in that interview he gave to The Guardian on video. He defended Hong Kong and even China, mainland China itself, where, well, not every part of it is prohibitive and restricted in the internet, and making excuses for their policies.
Yeah. Tell that to Google China. Tell that to Yahoo China. I mean, this is an entire country that doesn't know about Tiananmen Square and basic news events. It's a ridiculous idea. I think there's another shoe to fall here, Steve. Something is going to tell us why he's coming forward now, because coming forward in June and not last September, it absolutely doesn't add up.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. And do you believe also that, I mean, I don't know where he is now. Some people think he was trying to intimate that he was going to China when, in fact, he's headed to Iceland. But they don't think he's in Hong Kong anymore. But if we could get him, if we could have him extradited, if we know where he is, do you believe we should and fully prosecute him?
Well, what I think that we need to do is we need to bring him back here and ask him some questions. I'm not comfortable yet of saying that he tried to raise some of his concerns internally. I mean, first of all, let's be honest. Booz Allen Hamilton has an incredible problem. If I were in Congress, I would be moving quickly to freeze all of Booz Allen Hamilton's contracts to make sure that they're not getting any extensions, and we're reviewing.
Right, that's the company that's the company that Edward Snowden worked for.
Yeah. And the company that he signed up to work for took an oath to defend the United States and to defend our programs and to work on these top secret programs, and then suddenly comes forward and says, I'm going to blow the cover here. Now, I want to know, did he talk to Booz Allen Hamilton senior officials privately? Did he try to raise some of these concerns? There's no question that we want to be sensitive to whistleblowers. If there's an injustice in the government that you're working on, you raise your hand, you try to make it happen. If the process doesn't fit, then you go public. But this guy seems to have just gone public in June rather than last September because Barack Obama is suddenly gathering intelligence that he wasn't comfortable with? I mean, that doesn't add up. He's been gathering intelligence for 4 years.
I'd be remiss if I didn't get your expertise on this. Of course, you served several U.S. ambassadors to the United Nations, including our friend John Bolton as Assistant Secretary of State to the UN. What's your take on the nomination of Samantha Power with all of her human rights?
I mean, here's another screaming hypocritical appointment. The woman who is in charge of human rights, who lambasted George Bush for not doing enough on Sudan, who basically had the entire Upper East Side of New York and all of the media elite celebrating her bashing of Bush, giving her a Pulitzer Prize on genocide. She sits inside the White House. She's in charge of human rights, and she gets a promotion because she's done a lot on Syria. We have 90,000 dead people that she watched comfortably from inside the White House be killed. What I don't understand is why the New York Times can call her an interventionist. She doesn't get to be an interventionist if you watch the slaughter of 90,000 Syrians. Now, we can have a debate on whether or not there's something that the U.S. gets to do in Syria or can do or should do. That's a separate debate. But you don't get to be called a great interventionist and escape the hypocrisy charge of your previous work if for some reason you sat in charge of human rights at the White House while Syrians were slaughtered.
Good point, Richard. Listen, congratulations on your Fox gig. We appreciate your time. Richard Grenell, Fox News contributor, fellow at the Project to